beloved viewers on today's episode of Overcomers program. And here with me in the studio is our beloved couples who have come to testify of the goodness of the Lord in their life. If you're believing God for a striking testimony, relax, sit back and watch this wonderful episode. Don't go nowhere.
Testimonies are personal encounters with the raw power of Jesus Christ. The testifier shares his or her personal experience of prevailing over satanic powers. It encourages others to trust God as a life changer, provider, and defender whenever the Holy Spirit is invited. Overcomers Time is a compilation of the act of the Holy Spirit in God's Kingdom Citizens Church.
Appreciate you for coming. Please kindly introduce yourselves.
We are Mr. and Mrs. Tommy.
Okay, so for how long have you known God's Kingdom Citizens?
I think it started 2015, if I'm not mistaken, 2015 December, right?
Yes.
2015.
Okay, so I believe you must have been through a lot before you found God's Kingdom Citizen.
Yeah.
What are those experiences or challenges you had before you found this house? Just brief us.
I think let my wife be able to, take it off from here.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Before we found ourselves in God's Kingdom Citizens, we've been attending a church. When you find yourself in diaspora, it's not like you don't expect what you see from your country.
That's true.
So when we started attending the church, we met so many faces and so many challenges to say, and we are not so comfortable. We know we are lacking something, something is lacking, especially the word and the spiritual aspect of it. So along the line, we started. In fact, it was a divine connection because it all started in this crossover service.
Okay.
We came here and we must say we enjoyed the service. And when we got back home, even on our way back home, I could remember my mother-in-law was there that time. My mother-in-law was like, "Oh, I feel like I'm in Nigeria already. That this is what I'm talking about." So, and even the way the man of God welcomed us, like he had known us for ages. Yeah. So it made us feel so warmly at home. And my husband said, "I think we should. In fact, I feel like I'm with my own family." That was the feeling. We felt at home. We felt like a family. That thing we have been looking for, we have found it.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. So now you're in God's Kingdom Citizen. What are those unusual encounters you've had that really made you believe that indeed God is in this house and has kept you up to this moment?
Actually, it's been a lot. But before I think, Mommy, you had a encounter that made us to. There's one encounter that you told me about your dream.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you can pick up from there.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daddy. So many talking about encounters in God's Kingdom Citizens. So many of them, and the most striking of it all was the first time we came to God's Kingdom Citizens. I think our second time of coming. After in a dream of the night, I saw myself like a kind of stranded. I didn't know what to do. I was like hopeless, if I may use that word. I was even crying desperately. And the road looked so deserted, and so I was crying helplessly on the road, and all of a sudden a car drove past me, and to my amazement the car stopped. the car pulled over, and the door of the car opened, and the person I could see was our Mommy Olabode, and she was like, "Daughter of Zion, what is it? Why are you crying?" I said, "Oh, Mommy, you stopped to help me." So she said, come inside, come and tell me everything." That was exactly the word she used. Come inside, come and tell me everything. Immediately I entered. I saw Daddy. Daddy was on the driver's seat, and the car pulled off.
Wow.
So I think a few months after that encounter, Daddy was talking about God giving him a ministry, like a car. I can remember a Wrangler Jeep, and giving him a key. So I was smiling all by myself.
Which was similar to what
exactly
that she has. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I told my husband the dream. When we got home, I was like, me and my husband were like, "Daddy, did you hear what?" Yeah. I said, it's like God has given us a direction of this is what we already entered that car. And by the grace of God, God has started doing amazing things in our lives. This is divine direction.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
And so many other encounters like that in healing, in divine establishment, financial openings, and things like that, like directions of. We cannot say it all, but another striking encounter
was the one of Mirabel.
Exactly that.
That's it. That, in fact, we started in 2015 December.
Okay.
So it was just less than a year that we started. Then my first daughter, Mirabel, had a sickness. They call it pneumonia. We went to hospital, and the doctor insisted that she has to be admitted. You know.
How old was she then?
She was barely
2 years.
2 years. She just did her 2 years in August. So this happened in December. I think it was 15th of December it happened. So the doctor insisted, because of the level of infection on the lungs. The doctor insisted that we should keep her, in the hospital. So we spent there around like 10 days or thereabout,
14 days.
14. No, I think it was
7 days.
7 days, yes.
Treatment.
The first treatment was 7 days. So they asked us, okay, go and come back few days. And that few days was supposed to be on 24th. The day they asked us to come back again, yes. So when we went back, it happened that we brought her to church, GKC family. I presented her before Pastor, and Pastor laid hand, because even when she left the hospital, the symptoms are still there. It wasn't so perfect.
So
there
she
wasn't
said
much
she was in the
improvement.
hospital for 7 days.
7 days,
And
exactly.
nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
No. We are the one that forced the doctor to even release her.
Release her.
Yes, they said, let us be taking the treatment from home. That's how it happened.
Okay.
So now it continued, and then the pastor prayed for her. I think it was on 23rd. Pastor prayed for her. Then we went to hospital 24th. On that 24th, we went to hospital. They went through CT scan and X-ray and all that, the blood test. So just to confirm if there was any improvement or not. So the doctor was like, no, this time around it's getting, it's worse than how she was before.
Wow.
Yeah. So the doctor insisted, no, we have to do an urgent admission. They have to place us, and the time we're going to...
is indefinite.
Yes, we don't know anything.
Until she gets better.
Exactly.
That we shouldn't be, these were his specific words.
Yes.
We shouldn't be in a hurry to go. We shouldn't get in a hurry to be discharged. We should stay here, be patient until she gets better.
That's true.
Wow.
That's
After
true.
administering the first
7
days,
yes.
7 days.
Yes.
Improvement.
So it was at that bench, on that time, they asked us to, put her on, a kind of inadmission. And then I was confused, because after the pastor prayed her on 23rd, we saw a lot of improvement in her. She started playing around. The next day, she started moving on, eating and all that. We saw a lot of improvement. So we asked the doctor, why would we keep her another admission when already we are seeing. He said, no, don't mind what you are seeing. This is how the children are, you know. So that's what the doctor said. He said, no, this time what I saw, what he's seeing in her system is very bad.
Wow.
Yes.
So it means it has taken up to 14 days now, after the 7 days. And
Yes.
continuous.
Yes, I have some. I think Daddy missed some things there.
Okay.
You know, when doctor told us about the admission, and we were like, it was 24 December already.
Yes.
I and my husband said, how can we spend our Christmas
was
in the hospital? That it has never been done.
Yeah.
Even where we are coming from, we know what Christmas means, that this is celebration, and we will be in the hospital.
That's right.
So my husband called the man of God, and the man of God says, please bring her out from there.
That's true.
Oh, the man of God says you should bring her out
Yes,
from there.
Exactly.
yes.
You see, one of the ways you can boost your faith is you listening to other people's testimony. That alone can make you believe God and hold Him by His word. We'll be coming back. Let's take a short break. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back, our viewers. Our beloved sister was saying something before we went for a short break. So, my beloved sister, back to you.
Thank you. You know, I was saying that during that period, after examination, like my husband said, and doctor said there was no improvement. In fact, the word he used was that the right lung already damaged.
Yeah.
At 2 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Because even we could bear witness to what he said, because her breath alone was,
Smell.
it was,
Smells.
foul smell, and she couldn't walk. She can't walk.
She couldn't walk straight. She always bent when she's
Yes, that she was just bending, and that time she could not walk anymore.
Color
We always
changing.
carried her, and her color changed. She changed from her usual self. She couldn't talk. She could not eat. She lost appetite completely, and even the shock of the pneumonia stuff, you know, it got us unawares because we never expected that.
That's true.
So when doctor said we have to stay here indefinitely, but not us. So my husband, we were like, what are we gonna do? My husband put a call through to one of his cousins, and he said the result is really not good, that we should do whatever the doctor says. Now, looking at it, tomorrow is Christmas. Today is 24th, and we are between this situation and not knowing what to do. My husband immediately put a call through to the man of God, Pastor Olabode, and Daddy said, "What are you still waiting for? Bring her out from there." That was his exact words.
Okay, the same place that the doctor said you should keep your daughter until she's really
Yes.
okay. Then
Yes.
the pastor was telling you to bring her
out.
So at that moment,
Yeah, exactly.
you can't imagine.
Actually, what happened again, I asked the doctor to give me some time to
Yes.
make a decision. So that's the exact time I went out, placed a call to my cousin brother, and at the same time call my pastor So at the end of it, the doctor were like, you can't go.
Yes.
Yeah, you must have to admit.
They held us.
So, and then lucky for us, we went to admit her. There was no room for us. They asked us, okay, wait till 3 hours time to get a seat. That's the time we now went back home to go and get our, our clothes and all that. So it was really tough situation.
Yeah,
so
it was tough.
We went home. We are confused. How are we going to handle this situation? Pastor
medically, she wasn't responding.
Exactly.
And the man of God is telling you to bring her out from there.
Yeah.
The decision at that moment, making decision is very
difficult.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult. And even my cousin is a professor in medicine.
Wow.
Yes. He is asking me, don't take a risk. Don't take chances. Leave this girl. She might collapse anytime. She might go into seizure and all that. So it was a difficult situation for us. And thanks God, we went into prayer. After went home. After dragging another, went into prayers. We are, asking God, what do we do now? There we were. Doctor were calling us. Pastor were calling us. I said, God, help us to decide rightly now, because we don't want to go wrongly. So at the time we were praying, a verse came into my mind. He said, whose report do you believe?
It's part of
it.
Anytime, any day. Yeah.
Whose report do you believe? That's when my spirit calmed down. I said, God, I'll believe your report. Even if it warrants me to, my baby dying, I believe you.
At that moment, baby cannot die, because this is God's representation. I believe at that moment, the man of God said you should bring your daughter out. It's not the man of God that is speaking at that moment. The voice of God is ministering to, because it's God's representative here.
Faith.
So whatsoever he speak by faith, it's not him speaking. I'm not saying Pastor Olabode now. I'm saying God telling you to bring her out from there.
Yes.
Because I believe the sickness is not medical.
No.
It's a spiritual thing.
It's a spiritual, because the way it started,
it's a spiritual thing.
It started instantly. There's no trace of pneumonia no one in her family has suffered pneumonia or something. And she started school. Under 2 weeks, she started school. She developed high fever. She got fever yesterday, and today it was so high that we had to rush her to the hospital. Someone had fever yesterday. She was so okay 2 days ago.
It just hit her.
Yeah, she was okay playing 2 days ago. So yesterday, she got the fever from school. They brought her home. Now, the following day, we rushed her to the hospital because it was not calming down. We gave her a doll and it was not subsiding. Yeah. So when we rushed her to the hospital, after test, because doctor observed her and placed her on test, and doctor, we got the shocking news that it is pneumonia and it's already affecting her so badly. We looked at each other.
Because some of these sicknesses, they would say it's generation. Maybe the uncle or the auntie or your grandfather or your grandmother might have suffered pneumonia before. No. But this one just came and just hit the innocent baby at that age. So when both of you prayed to agree on that decision, so from there, what happened?
Actually, when we prayed, we cried to God. We really cried to God. I said, God, I know you cannot go wrongly. If you have spoken to me, whose reports do you believe? That means you are aware about the situation. Yeah. So we ignored the cause because the doctors, the hospital were calling without stopping. We have to off our phone. Yes. We have to, tell, no, we're not going anywhere. God has healed our daughter. And we started praising God.
Yes, so
we started praising God, thanking God, yes, praising God. And to God be the glory. From that night, the next day, and for till Jesus comes, she has never been sick.
Just like that.
Yeah. That Daddy, the following day was Christmas service. and we brought her again to church. We came together. And when Daddy made an altar call for those who were sick, I could remember I was sitting with Daddy somewhere here, and we carried Mirabel to the altar. Wow. You know, after the prayers, we went home. Something dramatic happened. I'm telling you, this is, in fact, my husband was like, we were like, the drama was too much. In the house, that night, she slept unlike before. Yeah. In the morning, she woke up, like Mirabel woke up and jumped out. You know, usually she and the elder brother, they are inseparable. They play a lot. And she saw the elder brother. It was like the elder brother was holding her toy, her favorite toy. And she jumped out from my laps. Yeah. We were together. It was like after a morning devotion. She said, somebody who has not talked for that period of time. She only gives you signals. So she jumped down from my feet and said, David, give me my toy with that weakness. I looked at my husband looked at me. I said, Daddy, Mimi said something, look at her. And from there, she started chasing his brother all around, you know. Yeah. I said, Daddy, look at Mirabel, look at me. Somebody who could not stand, and she was bending one side. So from there, my husband said she's healed. Everything is, and she is from that point onwards.
A child of 2 years.
Yes.
Going through pneumonia. Imagine when an adult is suffering the same sickness, how you feel. Yeah. Wow, it can only be God.
Yeah.
It's just God.
It can only be God. It can only be God. I really appreciate you guys for coming. I was still thinking about the risk you guys took, because this is Dubai.
Yes.
If anything should have happened to that child,
they told us.
My God,
they told us.
Indeed, we have to learn to believe the reports of the Lord. When God says something, definitely He will bring it to pass. And when you're in the house, like this is God's kingdom. I always see it like my house, like a family. Yeah. When you see a man that God calls, there's always a God's backing.
Exactly. Yes.
Somebody is sick, and you know that medically nothing. Okay, for how long? Like the space of 7 days, 14 days. Like how long did she suffer from all this? And
let's call it 20 days.
20 days. A child of 2 years, 20 days suffering from pneumonia. Just a word from the man of God, and everything was settled up to this moment. No, as in, you guys went back to the hospital to...
Yes, we went back.
Okay, to check.
For checkup, yes.
And they did find pneumonia?
The doctor said something, because my husband said, let's go and show the doctor that we serve a living God.
Wow!
So,
this is great.
We actually went for checkup, and then doctor said, after checking her, doctor said that he can still see the traces of the pneumonia. He can still see the lung is still not healed. But what is surprising him is that what she is doing now, from what he can see from the x-ray, she is not supposed to do half of what she is doing now. Because there, in his presence, she was running with and playing with her brother. So,
which on a normal note, somebody suffering from such kind of illness cannot do that. So it can only be God. And up to this point, how old is she now?
She's 7.
She's turning 7 soon.
From 2 years to now, she have not gotten pneumonia anymore. This is God in action. This is God in God's kingdom citizen. So I believe our viewers, maybe one or two person might maybe is going through one or two challenges or this sickness, and maybe you've taken medication, nothing is happening, and you're believing God. What encouragement will you give to such people that is waiting on God or believing God for the same deliverance or healing or testimony?
Okay. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll start by, it's not that we cannot pass through challenges. Challenges must come. But as a child of God, when challenges come, what do? Do we start running around and panicking and like we don't know, like hopeless and helpless people. You know, as a child of God, as children of God, we have this this privilege that whenever we call upon our Father, He answers us. You know, like David. David, when he passed through challenges, what he went through in the past, it motivated him and gave him like a ladder to climb, and to know that God, who saw me through in the past, will also deliver me from the hands of this Philistine like Goliath. So, as a child of God, when you pass through challenges, act on faith. You know, the Bible says that faith without work is dead.
It's dead. Yeah.
We say we have faith and we don't have work, it is useless.
Yeah.
That's true.
Taking our case for example, if we had insisted, who knows what would have happened? Maybe she would have got better, but it would have taken time or something must have gone wrong. But God spoke through His servant, and to His glory we acted. He gave us the grace to act. It is not easy, but we always ask for the grace to act in times of need. So whenever we are in need, let us always look up to God, remember what He has done in time past, and hold Him on that. Have faith that He who saw us through in the time past will see us through in that present challenge.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you very much for coming to our studio today to testify of this great act of God in your life and also in your family. I appreciate you both, and I hope next time we'll call you, you'll find time to come also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, our viewers, for watching. We have different branches in all of the Emirates. And also for our viewers outside of United Arab Emirates, please follow us on our YouTube, Facebook and Instagram handle. Until come your way next time, stay blessed and fortified. God bless you.